What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Woman's Hustle, Thrills and Spills of Entrepreneurship. It is your girl, Kisha, aka Coach K. And I appreciate y'all so much for taking your time out to tune in. Listen, if you are seeing my face on YouTube, then I want you to make sure that you hit that subscribe button, baby, and make sure you hit the notifications so you do not miss an episode. All right. If you are listening audio wise, then make sure you are favorite in the podcast on your streaming platform so you can keep up to date because, baby, these episodes have been so good. I really appreciate y'all feedback. Y'all have been telling me exactly what I want to hear, and I love it. So I'm so glad that the Woman's Hustle is here to help you, inspire you, and encourage you on your entrepreneur journey, whatever level that you're on with that. So thank you again for tuning in. If you see me, then you see that I am not by myself. I have a lovely guest here that I have talked to many, many times before. I'm super excited to have her. What's going on, sis?
Hey sis, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be
Absolutely.
in your grace, your presence, and
Oh,
your
thank
wisdom. I love
you.
it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Please let the listeners know who you are and what you do, baby.
Hey everyone. So my name is Fran. My full name is Frances. Y'all got my government name.
Hey, that government. I love
um,
it.
my government name. I am a podcaster. I'm also an entrepreneur. I have a company called Decompression Sessions. And what I like to tell people is I'm a pause and a break and a breath for people. Because life gets fast and you could get frustrated really quick. And I said frustrated, but I gave you the slang version, frustrated.
Hey, period. Period. I love it. Well, first off, congratulations on the business, okay? Because the
Thank
last
you.
time we talked, there have been a lot of shifts going on with you. And I think that you coming on the Woman's Hustle is a perfect time because you are really what it's about for me. I will let her share her story, guys, but I'm just super excited. So kind of give us a little bit of your backstory, and kind of what got you where you are today. So,
Sure, sis. So I first started, well, my background is I've been in signage and printing for over 17 years. And then after that, I went into transportation and logistics, and I did that for 4 years. During my last year, which was this year, I found myself in a space where I was not enjoying the work that I was doing. It wasn't meaningful for me. And I slowly saw myself shift into doing more like holistic work, meaning I love self development. Why? Because the sister got issues, duh.
come on, come on.
Nobody else is going to fix the issues that we have. And those are things that we needed to do ourselves. So while I was with the freight brokerage as a partner, I had started writing a book and I had been working on self development for like 7 years, going on 8 years now. And in that space, that's when I started to realize that people were asking me, about my life. How did I do this transition? And so from that, that's how decompression sessions came about. Like, I literally just fell into it.
Hey, sound like somebody's purpose came up to the forefront, baby. I love it. I love it. But you know what? Sometimes that's exactly how it works. We don't know that that's really what we want because we kind of spend that season of suppression, right? We don't really identify it because we don't want to, because it's kind of hard. So we don't really want to identify it. So, we just hide it under that rug and, sweep it and continue to do. But like you said, you weren't satisfied anymore, in what you were doing. And, it was paying the bills. Absolutely. But sometimes we got to like think about that and say, yes, I know this is paying the bills, but what's my quality of life? How's my quality of life going right now? Because I'm not operating in purpose. So I love that you have just like made some complete shifts. Tell us how you actually decided it's time.
So I had joined this like marketing program And like towards the beginning of the year, I was, I talked to the lady and she was like, yeah, I'm going to help you, help grow your company. Cause at the time I was trying to actually grow the freight brokerage. But while I was doing the program, I realized that through various conversations, I didn't have a spark like I did with the decompression sessions. I realized that my heart wasn't beating after it and it just wasn't the same. It was just like, oh, okay, I'm like you said, it's a paycheck, but there is no heart space being filled. There was no meaning. There was no purpose besides getting the bills paid. So that's how I really shifted was through the middle of the program. I just realized that, oh, shoot, I need to be doing something else because I'm not happy.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's important that people listen to that side of it because what you basically said was I needed that outside influence to make me really see that I wasn't really happy, you know. Because sometimes we default, right? We default to just doing what it is, especially as women. We default to making sure that we are taking care of ourselves on the financial standpoint, but not necessarily from the mentally healthy standpoint, not necessarily from the purposeful standpoint. Because I know that was me, you know. So, in the middle of you actually having a mentor, because I hear that's what you said, and I love it because, hey, y'all know every episode I'm going to tell y'all need a mentor or coach or something. So, you know that. But every and I want to say this, every woman that has been on the Woman's Hustle so far has told you that they have had a mentor, a coach, they have had like-minded individuals, a support group, whatever it is, they have had a form, whether they didn't have it in the beginning. I didn't have it in the beginning either. But throughout their journey, they knew they needed it. So that's exactly what she said. In the middle of her mentorship for a company that she no longer had the passion for, she decided it was time to make that shift. I think that's beautiful. I think
Man,
it's
yeah, people like the recognition, right, that you currently have a limitation on where your thought process is at. You can't think outside of something that you've operated in if all you're consuming is the same information. So having that outside voice, like you said, is very pivotal and creating those steps for you. And yeah, sometimes you just need to hear that. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to listen to that voice throughout.
right. Right.
It's just for this season because I really do want people to lean in to their own wisdom. Because when we do lean into our own wisdom, there's something that doesn't reveal itself to us until we're actually walking in that space. And that does not come with the voice of a mentor. That just comes from leaning into you, trusting and honoring your own walk and your own journey into entrepreneurship. Shit, I mean, in life in general.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah,
It
just
is. It's
wanted to
just life in general. Nope, nope, you good. Hey, we don't change nothing over here on the Woman's Hustle, baby. It's the same everywhere. You know how I do. So, but I love it. Like, and I love it. And like, because you are like still fresh in that journey, right? How have you kind of maintained like your motivation? Like, where do you get your ambition from? Like, how do you maintain your well being? Like, all of that. Like, how do you keep up with that and stay on task?
So I did have some money saved up. So I'm floating on that right now. And I have a different mentor for this particular stage.
Yeah.
So in that space, my mentor, she's also an entrepreneur. She's been in business for a very long time. So she helps me with like different things to help me reinforce the purpose of why I'm in this thing in the first place. Nobody can do it the way that you do,
Yeah.
right? You are very specific for this time. And also just grounding ourselves in the truths of what we've already accomplished in our own life.
Yes.
having a list of what those things look like. I mean, for me, I got my Cornell University certificate behind me for women's
That,
entrepreneurship. And shoot, that took time
yeah.
to do. And so just these small little things, let me take that word away.
Ooh,
And let me even take the word small away. All these things that we've accomplished, no matter how tiny they might seem, they are all accomplishments that we've taken our own energy and put that time and effort into in order for us to obtain those things. And we should be proud of the steps that we've taken to get there. Not only that, I'm also doing a book called The Artist's Way.
okay.
And I didn't write the book, but this particular book by Julianne Cameron, she talks about how you can go back into a space that helps you get back into your creativity. Like, for example, when we were kids, let's say our parents said, okay, you here's a coloring page. Don't color outside the lines. But this gives us an opportunity to go back and color the page outside of the lines. So we can remove that limitation that was put on us when we were a little child, and we don't realize those things still show up for us in different ways. So there's a lots of
Girl.
exercises in that book, girl. That book, that's just one small thing. I'm on week 6 of it's a 12-week commitment, sis. Can I tell you that I was so excited when I first started, but now that I'm on week 6, I'm like, I kind of hate you right now.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. I can only imagine. Ooh, child. But you know what? That transformation is so dope. Like, cause I know that just in the 6 weeks, you already see shifts. You see changes. You know, you're living those changes. You are walking in them changes. I can already just tell from our conversation. From our conversations from 6 months ago versus our conversations from a month ago. I can tell the differences and I hear your shifts. So, like, if no one has told you that, let me be the one to tell you right here on the Woman's Hustle. I see and I hear your shifts, and I'm super proud of you. Like, so proud of you.
Thank you, sis. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and that it's just so important that we do that because we do want that supportive community. And I want to touch on that for a minute too, because how have you been fostering supportive community? Because you made major changes in 2024, right? So
Girl.
has that shifted your community in a sense?
Yes, it totally has. We talk about boundaries all the time. I actually cut off my best friend that I've been friends with for close to 25 years. And that's because, we're taking different journeys, and that's okay. I don't know, maybe at some time in the future we'll connect. But for right now, where I'm going, yeah, I totally have a different group of people that I connect with. I connect mainly with entrepreneurs right now because this is the journey that I'm on. But I think one of the major things for me that I realized today was all the energy that I wanted to put into my writing, I shifted because of my Artist Way book. Because the Artist Way book will keep your ass busy. And I am not playing. This is like the
Yeah.
Artist Way book is not a book. It's like a personal development
Yeah.
mentor in a book for 12 weeks, and you will not like her.
What'd you say? And you ain't gonna like her. You ain't gonna like her.
No, 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 no. You gonna be like the little kid that's having a tantrum. Mm,
So
I don't want
right.
that.
Oh my God. I
So
love it though. Like
th-
I
that's really how I've been keeping community is through those groups, and also too, like before I got on this call, I'm in the NASDAQ Entrepreneur Program. Well, I already finished it, but I'm one of the mentors. But
like
being in there, giving back to the ladies, and they're also feeding you too in that space. And so that's been my community these past couple months.
and that it's like a full circle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like it's come full circle like you. were in that program and now you're giving back to that. Like that's a full circle, but that's what it's about. One thing that I did have to learn as well is you do have to build a whole new community as you encounter on an entrepreneur journey. And that's not even saying, that everybody that you dealt with prior, known prior, that you just got to cut everybody off. We're not saying that. But what we're saying is you have to become open minded to receive new community of like minded. When you are either wanting to start the entrepreneur journey, whether it's a part time, you want to stay in corporate America and then do some side hustles and stuff like that, you still have to enlist and find some form of community that can be supportive on that journey for you. So many of us tend to want to keep the people that's in our lives and want them to be our biggest motivator. But one, they've never done it. So they don't really know how to motivate you. Besides the occasional, oh, you got it, keep going. Yes, we all want that encouragement. Okay. But when you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, whatever it is, baby, it requires more. You need more support. You need more motivation. You need more inspiration. And you need to be around people that are doing it just like you, that can also share their thrills and skills and all of that. We need those kind of communities around us when we're on this journey.
Sister, I even think, even with my podcast, that like interviewing some of the entrepreneurs, a lot of them that I interview are entrepreneurs, like that has been super helpful too, because they just like drop gems here and then. I'm like, oh, catch, oh, catch, oh, thank you.
Yep. Hey, and just be open minded to receive it.
Yes,
Because before our closed mindedness, you wouldn't even have thought that was a gem. It would have just kept going and you would have never even thought twice about it. Hey, that's that reconditioned mindset, baby. I love it. I love it. That's why I talk about mindset all the time because that's what it's about. It's about our
yeah.
mindset. Ooh, girl.
You already know when you're on my podcast, I'm like, oh, catch.
Yep. What you say one more time? Talk about that a little bit more in depth. Absolutely. Yes. Y'all got to
Right.
make sure that y'all actually subscribe to her YouTube channel as well. And I'll make sure that those podcasts, those are in the podcast notes so you guys can follow her and subscribe because she definitely has some amazing guests on there. And I'm just super proud of the growth of the podcast, baby. You are doing it, baby. I
Thank you.
love it. I love it. So let's get into the thrills and the spills, right? So I just really want to know what is one of your biggest thrills since you have started the entrepreneur journey? And that it doesn't have to be just this year, but what's one of like the biggest thrills that you could share with us?
Oh my God, girl. The biggest one right now is the trusting factor of the universe. Is not only just the trusting factor of the universe, but really trusting myself enough to lean into not knowing how this thing is going to turn out.
Baby, that uncertainty. I know it.
Man, and this has been such an interesting journey because usually I will find myself panicking. What am I going to do? Da, 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 da. But I have never felt so peaceful. I've never felt so serene. I feel peace. I feel solace. I feel guidance. I feel supported. I feel nurtured. Um, and none of those things I felt prior to not jumping.
Get it. I get it because baby, they wasn't there. It
Yeah.
wasn't there. So I love that. I love that. I think people feel like when we talk about entrepreneurship, it automatically is that sense of like financial freedom. And don't get me wrong, that is a very important factor. But one thing that I am very intentional in reminding myself of is the sense of peace that I carry for walking in purpose. The sense of, serene, as you said, the sense of trusting the process, the sense of, being spiritually free to be me, to be unapologetically, authentically myself. That gives me the biggest sense of peace because I've never been a person to like hide who I am. But this journey has shown me who I am. And I really didn't know who I was before. I just was living. But now I'm thriving. And it's such a big difference. such a big difference.
There's man, sis, and people really want to know how to trust themselves. Be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Come on. Come on. Be an entrepreneur with follow your purpose. Because once you do that, oh Lord, it's gonna hit you. But again, that sense of satisfaction makes it all worthwhile for me. All
Totally,
worthwhile.
totally. I
Absolutely.
just ah, I'm just
I know.
grateful. I think I'm really more grateful for the journey,
Yeah.
just because it just feels so different. I can't really explain it. It just feels like I'm being led,
Mm-hmm.
and as I'm led, doors open,
Yeah.
conversations happen. Like for example, yesterday, I get a random phone call from somebody that I was talking to on LinkedIn, and he's like, "Fran, I never seen anybody do what you do," and I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "This guy does events all over the state of California, and also too all over the nation for the Pacific Islander community." And he was like, "I want you to come check out, the events, and then, I'd like for you to actually be a vendor at one of them." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." I wasn't looking. This is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like you said, when you're listening and following and listening to your purpose and walking in your purpose, random conversations like this happen.
And do. And do. And do. I love it. I love it. Congratulations for that too, because baby, them is opportunities, and we take those opportunities. Okay.
Yes.
This has been so dope. Listen, we all know with the thrill must come a spiel. So please share with the audience a spiel, a down moment, something that might have been discouraging. We definitely want some transparency, sis.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, I saved some money to do this work. Did I save enough? Maybe not. So that is where I'm in the space right now. I'm not trying to figure out. I'm walking in what I know to do. And so, like I said, I usually would be in fear, but I don't feel that way. I feel like whatever the steps that I'm moving in, that I'll be supported. I'll tell you, yesterday was oh my God. I totally questioned my life yesterday.
Yeah. And I get
I,
it. I
I
get it.
was like, did I did I make the right decision? Did I am I capable of doing this? I totally questioned my whole like capabilities, my skills. I'm like, what's gonna happen? And then after I finished talking to my mentor, she was like, okay, this is what we need.
Yeah.
She's like, she pointed to my this right here in the background is a carved wood piece that represents my culture. And she was like, look, there's symbols and stuff all around you that remind you that you're supported by the universe. So she just had to get me out of my
Yeah.
starvation mode and my survival mode. And I really had to look around and get out of my head.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, and
we're gonna have those days, right?
yeah,
I say it often, and I will continue to say it. There is never gonna be all the time when it comes to emotions, when it comes to, just making it seem like that everything is gonna be okay. There are gonna be moments of uncertainty. There are gonna be moments where you're questioning everything that has happened in your life, but even we talked about it right here, and we say when that happens, we just go back to the moment of how serene we feel, how at peace we feel, how we feel like this is totally right. So, but also that you have support to be able to also reassure you and, remind you as well. Because sometimes we do need that outside reminder,
yeah.
you know?
Inside of the Artist Way book, it said that like back in the days, like when you were younger, remind yourself of people who actually supported you. What were some of the comments they said? And so I've made myself something like a comment card, and then I put it up on my little wall on my wall over here. And these are some of the things that they say. like you're dope, sis, or like you're rare.
Hmm.
And
I
I
was
just, yeah, so it's like I'm reaffirming, to the little kid inside of me that didn't get that support. And then even for the you're worthy,
saying,
for the adult that's still here. And because, regardless of whether we're an adult or not, all those stages of us still live within us.
you better say
And
it.
they're asking us to, play with them in some way, shape, or form. So I do that by, being creative.
Hey, I love it. Because if y'all, I got more affirmations over here. I got them in my car. They on the fridge. They on the mirror at home. Like they're everywhere. They're around here in the office. I love that because I was actually going to have you share like a tip or quick strategy, but I think you just did, but
Yes.
reminding, going back and remembering who did support you, remembering how they supported you, remembering what they said to support you.
Yeah.
Whatever stage it was that you were on your journey at that time, whether childhood or whatever else, always going back and remembering the good times. I think that that's important. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's
I put the name of the person that said that to me. And then on the back, I'll have like, what the event was that we met at. And this is
that's
one of my
helpful.
sisters. Yeah, I met her during logistics when I first started to get into
Mhm.
entrepreneurship at a trade show like a few years ago. And man, we've been tight ever since.
I love it. I love it.
So
Community is everything. So what is next for
the
you? What's
right
upcoming?
community.
Hey, that come on. Come on. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you said community." They will definitely call you out on that. I appreciate that. What's coming up for you, sis? What you got going on? What's upcoming? What is 2025 looking like for you, baby?
I had a conversation with April Green on my podcast. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is she shared with me a manifestation tip that blew my freaking mind, and it had to deal with AI. I wasn't planning on sharing with this, but I think it needs to be heard. So I told Chat GPT how old I am. I told Chat GPT what my sign was. I also told Chat GPT the astrological like birth chart, like my Libra rising, my Mercury, my Neptune. I put all that information in there. And then I also did something called the galactic signature. Y'all look that up. And then I asked Chat GPT to be descriptive on what things that I need to do for my life, knowing that they know all of that information about me, and to identify what career works best for me, how I can use this to market to my customers based on it knowing all these things about how I operate. What's the best way to do that? And oh my God, girl, can I tell you that the freaking list for me to do was so damn detailed that it like totally falls into all my characteristics. It was so dope. It was so dope.
Um, really speaking in and really being intentional on what it is that you want to do, and I think that that's super important. Whether people want to utilize AI or not, it's not going anywhere, people. So, if it's especially if you are an entrepreneur, and I'm gonna be honest, a year ago, I was like, I ain't using AI, I ain't using AI. I reneged. I went back, but it has optimized so many areas of my business because although I still talk, y'all, now I still got my mouth. Now let's just be real. But there are so many different aspects that I utilize AI for. So it's definitely a tool in my toolkit. Okay. So if you are thinking about entrepreneurship, if you are on the journey and stuck on something as simple as creating a paragraph for yourself, then I'm gonna ask you to get on the AI wagon, okay? It
Okay.
definitely will help you with that. But I'm just super proud of you, sis. Like, and before we finish up here, I just want to tell you that I'm super proud for one, identifying what you want to be as a coach. Because again, decompression coach is not something that you hear often. So what that tells me is you took the time to figure out your niche. You took the time to figure out who you want to serve and who you want to help. And I love that. And that's a very, very critical thing that we have to do as entrepreneurs on any level. You always got to know who you are trying to reach, who you are trying to help, and what problem you are trying to solve for them. So
Yeah.
I know that
So
you are on that journey and you continuing that as well. So I definitely am just proud of you. And I want you
thank
to
you,
let the
sis.
listeners know where they can find you at.
Yeah. So you guys can find me on my government name, FrancisFomai.com. That's FranceSFomai.com. I'm all over LinkedIn. I'm all over Instagram and Facebook, but I mean, Coach K can just redirect you to where I'm at. But I
Absolutely.
wanted to touch a little bit on decompressing, if that's okay with you,
Yes,
Coach.
go ahead.
So I'm the person that would be like a third year if you can't find anybody to listen to. If your family, your friends don't have any capacity, then I pass you off to people like Coach K that can help you with the strategy. Look, 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 look. Confirmation, confirmation. My phone just
Oh,
went
got
ring. So I'm the one that you dump your stuff on, and then Coach K is the one that gives you the strategy on getting you where you need to go. So
period.
if
I
if you're in
love
that kind of space, but yeah, just find
And
me,
a lot
Coach
of
K.
y'all are.
Direct
Let's
you
keep
my
it a
way.
book. A lot of y'all are. Y'all want to act like y'all got it together, but we know, and it's okay. The first step to receiving help and getting assistance is admitting that there's a problem. All right. So
Yes.
listen, y'all. Understand that everybody's journey is different. But what I want you to know is you have to figure out what life is going to look like for you. If you're wanting to pursue anything in an entrepreneurial standpoint, you've got to really figure out what that purpose looks like for you. Okay. And as Fran said earlier, she was working to pay the bills, but she wasn't satisfied. And I'm just super grateful for her to step out of her comfort zone, get uncomfortable, and walk into the purpose that she is so due and so rocking, so rocking. I love it. I love it. But we're going to get ourselves up out of here. Fran, thank you for being here. You already know it's always a vibe when we get together. If you have not by now, subscribe to the Upgraded Mindsets Media channel so you can make sure that you are up to date on all current streaming episodes. If you're listening on audio, again, make sure you favorite the podcast. I definitely want y'all feedback. What did you think of this episode? What do you think of The Woman's Hustle? Give me some feedback. Let me know what y'all think. All right, y'all. We out of here. Stay empowered. Stay purposeful. Till next time, baby.